Hey guys, here we have a pretty unique fish to Key West, and that's the African Pompano. That's a good one there.
Dude!
The cool thing about this fish is you get this big tenderloin out of the head when you cut it. It's one of my favorite parts of the fish to eat. So I'm gonna show you right now how I cut them and how to get that tenderloin out. Your first cut's gonna start right about here, right above the eye. And you're basically just gonna outline that forehead. Then you're gonna come along, come around, just like you would any other fish. Come back to the tail, nice little slice. And then I'm basically just gonna outline this fish out. Tip of my knife, going right down the backbone here. Now, if you've never cut an African Pompano before, they are tough to cut. They're kind of bony and very flat. And the biggest thing is the skin really likes to stick to these. And we'll get to that in a minute. So I'm gonna come right down the belly here, best I can. Now, all I'm gonna do is I'm laying my knife flat, right, trying to go right down that backbone. Trying to preserve as much meat as possible. See those bones right there? Laying that knife flat. Going right down the backbone. There we go, popping that tenderloin off. Now you can see how that just comes off. So as you can see, what I'm doing now is I'm going right above the rib cage, because if I were to cut through these big ribs, it's gonna dull my knife really quick. So I'm going above the rib cage and right down the backbone. And once I get through, now I can just outline those ribs. See that? Everything's going right over the top, not cutting through any bone. Getting all that meat, not wasting meat. And that is my first side coming off. Now I want you to see this right here. See all this meat I got out of the head? See this head section right here? That's that tenderloin I was talking about. Now, after you're done cleaning this whole fish up, you can take that whole tenderloin, and that's basically like a little steak right there. And that's the part I like to eat. The whole fish is delicious, but I always try and eat the tenderloin myself. Once again, I'm gonna go on to the other side. I'll lift my fin up right here. There we go. Had to just get under there a little bit. Wrap it under there a little bit. Wrap it around. And now I'm just gonna do the same thing. Outline this guy, starting from the head, coming all the way down. All the way down that backbone there. There we go. Lift it up. Okay, I want you to see this right here, all right? I'm sticking the tip of the knife right here, making sure it's laying right against that backbone as I come up. So use my finger, pressure on there, boom. I break this tenderloin free. Come up, above my pin bone. Getting above the ribs. Right there. Above my ribs. Let me finish this off right here. All right, now I'm ready to break the rest of this fillet free from the body. Now it's real important you take your time with these guys because it is really easy to mess these up. Getting all that good rib meat. Now here's a good shot right here. You can see the ribs, and you can see how I cut over top of the ribs in order not to dull my knife. Like I said, if I were to cut through these ribs, my knife would get dulled instantly. I'd be nicking these ribs, cutting through them. So I leave the ribs right on the carcass. Clean up my table a little bit. Now this is really the tough part here with these African Pompano, and that's separating the skin from the fillet. This skin really, really sticks to that fillet. So what I'm gonna do in order to get this skin off is I'm gonna split this fish right here. Get rid of this. So I'm gonna split it right down the backbone here. Right towards the backbone. And then I'm gonna come right in the center here. I'm gonna work right down the edge, and that's what you get. Now I'm gonna have to work at this a little bit just to get this skin off. Now I'm lightly working that knife right underneath that skin. Beautiful fillet. Do the same thing right here. And I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit for my boy to take home to San Diego. Got some nice chunks right there. Come over here. This is where it's gonna get tricky. You can see I got a little bit of skin that kind of stuck to the fillet. I'm just gonna pop my knife right under there, turn it up a little bit, just get that off of there without digging in too much. Same thing up here. Same thing up here. Beautiful. Cut that bloodline out just like you would any other fish. As you can see, because I cut over the ribs, now I don't have to mess with these at all. There's no ribs attached right here. Now, we're just gonna move on to the other side. Same thing. Nice fish like this, I'm just gonna come and I'm gonna split it. Makes it a little easier for me to work with. I'm gonna come right here, take a section, go 2/3 of the way down, turn my knife, and just start working right down that tenderloin all the way to the top. Look at that. Same thing here. Cut off that little tail section there. Pretty it up a little bit. Cut out this bloodline right here. Boom. Now I'm gonna work my way up, starting from the tail. Trying not to cut too deep with the knife so my skin sticks, which on this section is usually a little trickier. Oof. God. Just like I said, sometimes the skin on these is really tough to get off, and you just got to work the edge of that knife right underneath it and get a couple little pieces that are left on there. Want to clean all that up just with the blade of that knife. Come back in, cut your bloodline out, make my final cuts here, put it in a nice little pile right here, and that's how you clean an African Pompano. If you like our content, please subscribe to our channel.